Hi, in this video, I'm going to walk you through and show you the difference between an AI generated logo and a human designed logo. So we're going to use Luga.com. It's one of the many AI logo generators. And the first thing that they ask for, most of these will do this, is obviously the business name. Okay, so we're going to use a business that I recently worked on. It's called Das Beats House. It's actually my aunt's vacation beach house. I'm just renting it out. So the idea is to rent it out to people who want to, well, take a break from the busy life and just come and enjoy the beach in the Pacific Ocean. So the next thing that they want is pick your industry. These steps seem very similar across the board. I've tried a couple of different AI generators and they seem to have similar steps. So then our industry will be something like a vacation rental. Click continue and it says pick some logos you like. We'll use this as inspiration. These were all made with Luca. Okay, so we can see that there's different styles here, like a script here or handwritten logo versus something that's like a combination of illustration with a really unique typography and a slogan underneath it. So we'll pick a variety just to see how that would look like, if they would suggest to us different. And what I'm interested to see is, would they have anything like a monogram? No? Okay. So we'll just pick a couple. I think this will qualify for a monogram, and then we continue. Now it says pick some color you like. So we'll pick a couple. Oh, you can only do 3 colors. Okay, and then enter your company name, and which we already did, and add a slogan. So the slogan is your beachfront village. Okay, now it's asking for symbol types. What do you want? Like flower, I think we're gonna go abstract. And the thing about logo, it doesn't have to be literal image of your product or your services. It can be something other than what you're selling, like Apple is a good example. I'm not sure about that. And then pick a logo to customize. So it says click a design to preview and see different versions. What we're looking for in logo is we want it simple and memorable. We want it relevant. We want it scalable. And we also want it to fit in its context. The thing with a logo being memorable or being simple is it goes along with the logo being memorable. Because if it's a little too complicated, it might be too much for people to remember, and also too much for it to stand out from the crowd. Because you got to think about where the logo will live. And so simplicity helps with that memorability. So that's what I'm looking for. Something simple, something that's scalable. Because if you use it, if you scale it up, it should be able to use like big object like a billboard, and at the same time able to minimize it to apply it to as small of an object as like a pen or a small jar of something. But anyway, you get the point. Okay, this is the hard part here, is having to choose which one, not necessarily because it's a lot of good options, but and another thing is you want it distinctive, like this star here, like how is that different from anything out there? Probably not really, there's a lot of stars out there. And then there's a lot of logos that have that shield, so that's kind of repetitive and doesn't really stand out, so it's not that distinctive. Okay, so I guess I have to go ahead and choose one. This make me think of yoga. This make me think of yoga or exercising or something like that. So that's another thing. We have to have this logo relevant. It won't really speak the story of the beach house. None of this will do, because as you can see, it was just a couple of clicks. There was not much input that this generator used to build a logo. Other than that, we gave it the business name, the colors that we liked, and some kind of preference when it came to icons. So I'll just go ahead and pick one so that we can move forward. Never mind being picky. And now here we are, and I believe this is the brand, they call it the brand kit. And the brand kit is you get all of these mock-ups, and we can preview. So you will see the, I guess they call this the type logo and the icon logo with the slogan, and how that would apply to things like I don't know what this is, a business card or something else, and then the iPhone, I don't know, it's iPhone but a phone, and then you have some more mock-ups and social profile and so on and so forth. You also have your color palette with continuing on with the mock-up that will show you how that will apply to different things like t-shirt, business sign, and then it ends with the logo, and then you can download this. So this would, I can see this serving as your style guide, and there seems to have 25 items. So your brand kit includes your logo and 300 plus branded materials that update as you change your logo. So again, preview the kit. And the thing with this AI generated logos is they will give you an option to download this. Is here, look how calls it kit or style guide. I like to call it style guide. For a certain price, some of them ask for an annual prescription, and some of them is a one-time pay. So let's see if we seem to have come back to this page. Okay, it's right there on the top. I was looking at the bottom. It's on the top. Okay, so basic logo packets is one time for $20, and it's one logo file. Then premium logo package is also another one-time purchase, and you get to have multi high resolution file types, unlimited changes, lifetime technical support, and full ownership. That's different from the first one, I guess. Full ownership. And then subscription. These two are subscription, $96 per year, and this is the most popular option out there. And then brand kit web subscription, which is $129 per year. Everything in the brand kit here with a website. That's cool. Okay, so that's what you get. Now, as you can see, it was just a couple of clicks, and then you get all of that, which is, I guess, good if you don't really care so much about your brand. Now, when you work with an actual brand designer, the very first thing, one of the first things that you will do with your designer is what we call a brand discovery, where the designer sits with you and you go over an exercise or a workshop to really dig into your brand, and certain things are set or defined, if not already defined. And the very first thing is, who is your brand? And that's important to really set the direction of the brand, along with many other things like the brand vision and mission, or the business mission and vision, and the voice and the tone of your brand. How does your brand, if we were to imagine your brand as a person, how would they speak? What's their tone of voice? And there you go. What's their tone of voice? And that's important because in every medium that you release content, you want a single voice, a single message. That's to really drive home your brand memorability. And that is done through consistency. Okay, so when we start defining these things, that will set the ball rolling on your brand design. Furthermore, we identify things like brand value, if they're not already identified, the brand personality, the words for the brand, and the words that are not to be used for the brand. The onlyness statement is a statement that differentiates you. It's one sentence that differentiates you or your product in the market where it competes. And then another thing that we like to define is our quirks. What makes us oddly different than everybody else in the market that we're working with or in. For example, if you're like this business here, renting out a vacation home by the beach, so we gotta be able to answer to the customer right off the bat, why choose us when there's 5 more options in the same area? So we gotta be able to answer that question very clearly and quickly. Now, another thing is photo direction. There are many different ways to style your photo. And again, that goes back to the brand message and the brand feel that we want to deliver to the audience. So we select a specific style that would speak our message, speak our brand, communicate our brand. The next thing is target audience, very important. Who are we talking to? Because if we don't define who we're talking to, we're going to end up talking to everybody and their mother. We're going to end up talking to the people that we don't need to talk to. Spending our time in the wrong place, talking to the wrong people. We want to know who are we talking to, and we actually narrow that down to one single person. Now, this person we call a persona for the brand. And he or she is not an actual person. He or she is a made-up person. And we give this person a name, age, occupation, personality, even hobbies, even down to things like the phone they use. Are they using iPhone, or are they using... Now, these are important because you might wonder, why does it matter what phone they use? And then we also identify what social media they use, because it will help in the direction of things like not just branding, but like marketing. How will we reach your customers? These things are all kind of collected in the persona. And so it helps the brand direction as far as really narrowing down who we're targeting, who are we talking to, and how do we talk to those people. Moving on, another thing that is created is a mood board. Now, a mood board is just like what it sounds, mood. It creates this mood. What kind of mood do we want to create for the audience, the customers, and the prospect, and even suppliers and employees that we're working with, whoever comes into contact with the brand, what kind of mood are we creating for them? Because first things first, people will communicate with us via visual. That's the first thing that catches their attention. And then another thing that they communicate with the brand is emotion, before we actually have a long discussion about the brand with them. So we want to, right off the bat, create that mood. What does that mood look like, feel like for our audience? Now, we use a couple of things to build that. For example, imagery, typography, color, and even words. After that, we move on into logo creation. Logo creation, again, we bring it back to all of those simple logo principles, which is first, we must make this memorable. It must be easy to see and remember. We don't want to make like a whole illustration with people and birds and trees, and we don't need to do an illustration. A logo is simply an emblem, a mark for the business. We don't want to try and fit so much into this one emblem. So the simpler, the better it is when it comes to memorability. And again, we want it scalable, we want it relevant, we want it to speak of the brand. There's a total of 5 variations to this one simple logo. Like, we start with the primary logo, which has 2 elements, actually 3 elements. It has the icon, it has the name of the business with the slogan of the business. And then you move down to the secondary logo. It gets a little bit simpler every time we create a variation to that logo, because we're thinking about the different places that that logo has to be used. And furthermore, if your brand would profit or would benefit from added illustration or pattern to really bring home the message of your brand, that can be done by your designer. So how can we use that? How can you use pattern? It can be used in many different ways for like packaging. And show you examples. These are just mock-ups on how those elements are applied to different things for the business, like flyers, well, first photography, flyers, business card, mobile phone app, and website, and finally illustrations or patterns can be used. Patterns don't always have to be illustrations. It can be your logo, it can be something else, but a typography from your brand design. So anyways, this is just an example of how you can apply brand pattern to bring home your message. You can apply it to t-shirts, be creative, signs, wrappers for if you're like, for example, if you're making candies or something, can be done with wrappers or packaging, so on and so forth. So I hope I was able to walk you through thoroughly and show you the difference between AI generated logo and an actual human designer designed logo. So thank you for watching. Bye.